for about 5 minutes. Do bear in mind, I have a really good food processor. So my food processor does work quite quickly. So as you can see, it looks looking paste-like. It's looking nut buttery, but I like my nut butter to be really silky smooth. So you can see into the mess that is my utility room. I like it really silky smooth, so I'm probably going to leave it another 5 minutes. So I'm going to turn it back on, and on we go. So, tip number 3, when it comes to ditching the sugar addiction, or just ditching sugar this January, is to eat proper meals. I cannot tell you how many women, especially I meet, that just don't actually really eat that much. I was with a client yesterday, and I was telling her how much I ate in a day, and she didn't believe me. She's like, "Girl, you look so healthy and slim," or whatever. But it really isn't always about the quantity of food. It's often about the quality, and making sure you're eating 3 meals a day. Really important. Really important. 3 meals a day that include fiber, that include some fat, that include some protein. If you can do this alone, have your 3 meals a day that have good amounts of food, you will really just help stabilize your blood sugar massively, and that will stop you craving sugar so much. Really, really simple. So eat 3 meals a day. Make sure you do it. Make sure there's some veggies in there. Make sure there's some fat in there. Make sure there's some protein in there. Super simple. I know this isn't like groundbreaking advice, but it makes a really, really big difference. And tip number 4, when it comes to easy ways to ditch the sugar addiction, is to switch to natural sweeteners to begin with. So often what I get people to do to begin with is not necessarily to remove all sugar and everything else. It's actually first to ditch the refined sugars and introduce some natural sweeteners. So maybe things like, say you really like something sweet after dinner, and you might normally end up eating some Millionaire shortbread or whatever. Instead of maybe doing that, maybe just have 3 almonds that you dip in almond butter because it tastes really good. And you have a naked bar, or a more naturally sweet alternative. Maybe you make yourself a chia pudding. Maybe there's tons of recipes on my website. They're all free. They're all naturally sweetened, all treats that you can have. So even if you make that initial transition, that can be really, really helpful in terms of you just coming off the refined sugars and eating more nutrient-dense foods. So it can be a really, really helpful thing. I head to supernaturallyhealthy.co.uk. There's loads of recipes on there. There's a free natural sweetener e-guide. And in the bootcamp, I'm going to talk a lot about sugar, a lot about sweeteners, a lot about those kinds of things. And I'll give you a bit of a breakdown of what to have, what's great, what's not, all of that sort of stuff. And we can do that in our live sessions. So do make sure you join the bootcamp, and do share this link. If you join and you maybe know your sister or your mum or your friends at work kind of need that gentle reset, they need to kick up the bum, or they've been talking about how they want to lose weight or how they want to deal with their sweet tooth, then make sure you share the bootcamp with them and get everyone to sign up, because it's super, super fun. It's really effective. And I get emails regularly from people that said, "Oh, I did your bootcamp 6 months ago and it was really helpful because it's really helped me make some sustainable changes," and they're still seeing the fruit of the 5 secrets that I share with you in the bootcamp. Are the 5 secrets to help finding food freedom and fat loss, and people still seeing the benefits of just implementing those things into their day. Really, really powerful. So that is my tip number 4, is transition to natural sweeteners, things like raw honey and dates, fruit. Those kinds of things are really, really, really helpful. So I hope that has been useful. So I'm just going to come and answer some of these questions, and then I'll show you the final show of the almond butter and what that looks like. So Lena was asking about atrial fibrillation. Lena, I would say to begin with, make sure you aren't addicted to sugar and that you're eating basically, if you implement the 4 things that I talked about, they're going to be really helpful for any health issue. They really are. Eating more vegetables, eating more fats, eating more proteins, and ditching the sugar addiction. That will really, really be helpful in terms of your heart health and all of that sort of stuff going on. In terms of specifics for what you have, without knowing any more about you, it wouldn't be helpful for me to give any more specifically, but eating lots of vegetables, vitamin C, loads of research around that being really helpful for heart health. It really is, with specific conditions, it's really about getting to the root cause and figuring what's going on there. So Lindsay's asking, with the cost of almonds and the effort required, is it not cheaper to buy it? Just wondering what the advantages are of making it. Great question, Lindsay. I'm a bit of a budgeting. I'm that person in the shop that's like, what's that per 100 grams price? What's the price of that per 100 grams? Which one's cheaper? You know, all of that sort of stuff. For me, it is cheaper to make it yourself. So if you think about a kilogram, unless you go to places like Costco, sometimes you could get almond butter at Costco for like maybe £8 for a kilogram. But I can normally maybe get a kilogram of almonds is probably, unorganic almonds are probably going to cost you about £10-ish. So, and a kilogram tub of almond butter, depending on, if you can get it on offer, then great. But most of the time it's going to cost you probably more like, 12 quid, 15 quid sometimes, especially places like Pippin Nut or Meridian, that kind of thing. And it also means, so it is cheaper. It's not like massively cheaper. It's not like going to be half the price. But for me, to be honest, now it's about the taste and the quality. The almond butter I make myself tastes so much better. Like I treated myself to some shop bought almond butter a while ago, and it didn't taste as nice as this stuff, honestly. So a lot now is the taste. It is slightly cheaper, and because we eat so much of it, I do prefer to make it. So a kilogram of almond butter, normally I can get a kilogram of almonds for about £9, £8. So, but probably actually if you factored in the cost of the oven being on for 12 hours, I don't know, that's probably only about £1 or something. It probably works out the same price. So it really, for me, is about the quality of food. I'm really bothered about getting high quality food, and your high quality almond butters without palm oil, without crap in them, without sugar in it, are often more around the £15-14, like Pippin Nut, those kind of things are more expensive. But mainly I'm a total foodie and it just tastes better. So that's mainly why I make it. I know what the ingredients are. I know it's high quality. And also for me, I really like it to be, the nuts to be soaked and dehydrated. It means I'm getting a much more nutrient dense, and you can buy soaked and sprouted almond butter, but then you're talking a tub of almond butter then costs for a kilogram probably about 20-25 quid. So I mainly do it to get a much better quality, a much better taste, and a much cheaper price. But almond butter is never going to be a cheap food, just to put it out there. It's not that cheap. Almonds, that's why peanut butter is more popular, because peanuts are cheaper. So I'm just gonna, I think my almond butter will be done now. So I'm just gonna show you what it's like. Be aware of the noise. Perfect. So I've been talking for long enough that it's perfectly done. So as you can see now, I'll tilt this down. So if I hold, so this is the motor, this is feeling warm. This jug especially is feeling really warm. So as you can see, I like mine really smooth. So it's actually become super liquidy. Can you see that? It's very, very liquid. What I'll do now, it will become, a bit more solidified. It's partly because it's hot. So this has been going now for about 10-15 minutes. Partly because it's so hot that it's so liquidy because the oils have been released. But when I put it in a jar and it cools down, it will solidify. It won't be quite this runny. It will be more like normal almond buttery paste. So there you have it. Super easy, much cheaper than the shop. Well, maybe not much cheaper. It is cheaper, but not like crazily cheaper. But it's also much better quality. I can sprout it. I'm getting all the nutrients I need from this, making sure all the ingredients that go in it are really good quality. And having a tub of almond butter at your desk or a little jar. And I used to keep a jar of this when I used to work in an office for another company in the drawer that I would just dip celery into. It's great to have if you're making dinner and you're like, oh my goodness, this lasagna is going to take like an hour to make. I'm starving right now. I'm going to eat my own arm off. Having a couple of tablespoons of almond butter with a banana or in some yogurt, or dipping some dark chocolate into it, or dates, is a really, really helpful. So I hope that has been helpful for you guys. Do share this video if you think of anyone that wants to know how to make almond butter. And it would be wonderful to see you in the boot camp. It'd be so much fun. We're going to have a lot of fun in there. Just talking about how we can love our bodies and feel awesome and find food freedom and all of that sort of good stuff. So let me know any other questions you have. Otherwise, tag a friend below, share the video, and sign up for the boot camp. Yay! Otherwise, I'll see you next week at 1 o'clock. So Supernaturally Healthy Live, the weekly show, has changed times, partly because the lighting was so rubbish at 6 o'clock. So I'm going to make it more at 1 o'clock. So it's more of a lunchtime show. So thank you for joining me, everyone, and I will see you next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Lots of love. Bye.